Hello, students. We will solve exercise 4.2 of class 10 Maths NCRT now. We have already done exercise 4.1. We have already understood what is quadratic equation, or like the highest degree should be 2, and how to identify whether the given equation is a quadratic or not. And we have done some questions in which we have to frame quadratic equations. In exercise 4.2, basically we have to deal with the zeros or the values of the equation. What does that mean? Suppose you have given any equation. Let's take an example like this. 2x square minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. If I ask you what is the zero of this equation or what is the value of this equation, it means that we have to find a value of x such that whenever I substitute that value here, I will get 0. Let's take an example. Suppose x is equal to 0. Is the question is x is equal to 0 is a zero of this equation. Let's check whether this is correct or not. 2 0 square minus 5 0 plus 3 is equal to 0. This will be equal to 0 minus 0 plus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, 3 is equal to 0. It means LHS is not equal to RHS. So, it means x is equal to 0 is not a zero or value of this equation. Let's take any other value. Let's say x is equal to 1. Again, we'll substitute the value in this equation. So, now 2 1 square minus 5 into 1 plus 3 is equal to 0. Implies that 2 minus 5 plus 3 is equal to 0. Implies that minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. 0 is equal to 0. So LHS is equal to RHS. It means that x is equal to 1 is a zero of this equation. Means if we have any question in the form of this equation, then the answer will be 1. Whenever we have any quadratic equation, we will always have two values of any equation. And if it is a linear equation, the values will be 1. If it is a cubic equation, the values will be 3. By quadratic, the values will be 4. And it goes on so and so. In this chapter, we'll be learning about the quadratic equations only. So we will have two values for all the questions. And it depends which value we have to take. If only the equation is given, then we will write both the values. But if the question is in the form of statement or in the form of word problem, and then from that word problem, we have to frame the equation and then we have to find the values. Then we will check which value we can take. Sometimes both the values are applicable. Sometimes we have to decide which value we can take. Suppose the question is about the side of a triangle. We have to find the side of a triangle or a quadrilateral or anything. And we have got two values, one as the positive and other as the negative. We all know that side of any polygon, or whether it is a rectangle, square, triangle, anything, it cannot be negative. So we will exclude the negative value and we will take only the positive value. When we will solve the questions, you will understand that easily. Now let's understand how to find the zeros of the equation. In this question, we just guessed two values. This was hit and trial method and we checked whether this is the answer or not. But we cannot do this every time. So we should know how to find the zeros of the equation. There are three methods to find. One is factorization. Other is by completing the square. And the third is formula, quadratic formula. In this exercise, we'll be doing the factorization method. We have done this already in the 8th standard also. We just have to factorize the equation. We will get two values. Normally, we use midterm splitting. In the factorization, generally we use midterm splitting. That is very easy. In this case, A is x, B is -1, and C is -2. So what we do first we take the product of A and C. That will be -12. Just keep that negative signs aside for some time. So factorize 12. 2 6 are 12, 2 3s are 6, 3 1s are 3. So we have got four factors, 2, 2, 3, and 1. We have to arrange it in such a way that our sum or difference should be minus 1, that is equal to B. So let's take 2 2s are 4, 3 1s are 3. So if I do 4 plus 3, I'll get 7. If I do 4 minus 3, I'll get 1. If I do minus 4 plus 3, I'll get minus 1. And if when I multiply minus 4 and 3, I'll get minus 12 also. So basically this is the thing, this is the main thing here. We have to check the product should be equal to minus 12 and the sum or difference should be equal to B, and we have to just keep this thing in mind. Sometimes what we do, we just ignore this minus sign. We simply do. In this question, the silly mistake that we can do here is we take 4 minus 3. Means we just think that yeah, we are getting 4 minus 3, that is 1, so we can do. Or we can and then the question becomes wrong. We have to check both the signs of A into C also, or and of B also. And the best way to check this is at the end you will not get the factors. I'll just tell you how. If you're taking the wrong factors, you will not get it correct in the third step. See, so 6x squared minus 4x minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. I'll take 2 common out of this. So 2x common, left 3x minus 2. In this, so this will be minus 4x plus 3x. So plus 1 if I'll take common, 3x minus 2. The numbers inside the bracket should be same. If I'm not getting it same, it means I have done something wrong. See, in this only I had written first minus 3x. So I was not getting the same number inside the bracket. So I checked what I have done wrong and I did that plus. So you also have to check that. If you're not getting these two numbers same, it means you have done some mistake over here only. You have to check that and then you can get the correct answer. So 3x minus 2 is common out of this and 2x plus 1 left is equal to 0. Now, if any product in a product of any two number is 0, it means one number should be 0 out of those two. So either this is 0 or this will be 0. So if the first is 0, so 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, 3x is 2, x is 2 by 3. Or if 2x plus 1 is 0, then 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 1 by 2. So these two are the zeros of this equation. I told you this is a quadratic equation. We will be getting two values of x. So I think this method is clear to you all. Again, I'll be solving all the questions of exercise 4.2. So I will explain all the methods again. So you will have a good command over this. Let's move to the exercise. So find the roots of the following equation by factor. It's already written by factorization. If it is not written, you can choose any method. But if it is written, we have to do factorization. In this, our A is 1 and B is minus 3, C is minus 10. So product of A and C will be minus 10 only. We will factorize 10 by keeping minus sign aside. Our factors are 2, 5 and 1. By arranging it, we should get minus 3. So how can we get that? Let's try 2 plus 5, 10 minus 1, 5 2s are 10 and 1. No, we're not getting. Then we can get 2 minus 5. Yeah, so 2 minus 5 is minus 3. So I can write that x squared. This is the question. Implies that, don't forget to give implies that sign while solving the equation. I told you that in the previous video also. Minus plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. I'll take x common out of it. X plus 2. From this, I can take minus 5 common. I'll be left with x plus 2. See, I'm getting the numbers inside the bracket same. So x plus 2 is common. X minus 5 is left is equal to 0. Now, either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So therefore, x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to 5. So the values of x are minus 2 and 5. Okay, let's move to the next question. 2x square plus x minus 6 is 0. A is 2, B is 1, C is minus 6. A into C will be 2 into minus 6, that is minus 12. Keep the minus sign aside. Factorize 12. 2 6 are 12. 2 3 are 6. 3 1s are 3. We have to get 1. 2 2s are 4. 3 1s are 3. I will easily get this one in a single go. 4 minus 3 is 1. And when I multiply plus 4 and minus 3, I'll get minus 12. I'll write that. I'll take 2x common out of this. I'll let x plus 2. From this, I can take minus 3 common. So, x plus 2. X plus 2 is common. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, either x plus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 2. Or if 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, then 2x is equal to 3. Don't forget to give the implies that sign. Therefore, x is equal to 3 by 2. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to not minus, x is equal to 3 by 2. Let's erase this so it will be clear to you. So this is the solution. These all things, whatever I'm erasing it now, these all things should be done in the rough. We should not do these things in the main sheet. Now, whatever is written now on the screen, that thing only we should write on the fair sheet, on the main sheet. Rest, whatever we did, everything should be done in the rough. Now, the third question. In this, we have square root signs. No need to get afraid of the square roots. We think like it's very tough, but it's not that tough. I'll give you a simplest trick to solve this equation. In this, A is root 2, B is 7, and C is 5 root 2. First step is same. That is A into C, root 2 into 5 root 2. This is root 2 into root 2 is 2, into 5 it is 10. Now what we will do, actually in this number we don't have the square roots. So no need to think of anything, no need to just think anything, like just do the simple factorization, split the terms and then just go ahead. If there is a square root in the middle term, then we have to apply the trick. So in this we'll just do simply 2 5s are 10, 5 1s are 5. We have to get 7. So that will be 5 plus 2. Now, out of root 2x square and 5x, we have only x as common. So I'll write root 2x plus 5. Out of this 2, we have, in this we have 2 and this we have root 2. So I'll get root 2 common. From this, if I take root 2 from the 2, I'll be left with root 2x. Root 2 already taken, 5 is left, is equal to 0. I'm getting the same number inside the brackets. See, if I multiply root 2 into root 2, this is equal to root 2 into root 2 is root under 4 and that is equal to 2. So whenever we are multiplying the same square root numbers, we just remove the square roots. Suppose root 3 multiplied by root 3 will be equal to 3. It is like that only. So root 2x plus 5 is common. X plus root 2 is left. So now same, either root 2x plus 5 will be equal to 0 or x plus root 2 is equal to 0. In this, x is equal to minus 5 upon root 2. In this, x is equal to minus root 2. We cannot leave an irrational number as the answer. If a square root number is in the denominator, it means it is an irrational number and we have to rationalize it. With that we did in class 9th, rationalizing the denominator, and that we did in 10th also in the first exercise. So what we will do, rationalize it, multiply the fraction with root 2. So I'll get minus 5 root 2 upon 2. So one value is minus 5 root 2 upon 2 and the second value is x is equal to minus. Okay, Just remember, whenever there is an irrational number or the square root number in the denominator, we have to rationalize it. Fourth question, 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 is equal to 0. In this we have fraction. So first we will take the LCM. 8 will be the LCM. This is upon 1. This is upon 1. 1 8s are 8. So 2 8s are 16. 1 8s are 8. So minus 8x and plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we can do it in two methods. Either you can write 1 by 8 in all the steps, or you can take 8 that side and that will become 0. Anything is fine. I'll go on with the first one. I'll take 1 by 8 like this. 16x square minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now this is our quadratic equation in which a is equal to 16, b is minus 8 and c is 1. So a into c is equal to 16. In this we don't have to leave the negative sign because it doesn't have the negative sign only. Factorize. We got 2 only as the factors. Let's arrange it. We'll get 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4. 4 plus 4, 8. Since it is minus 8, so I'll write minus 4x minus 4x. Now, in this step, I have to use bracket over here also. So I'll use the flower brackets here. The bracket next to the curly this I'll use the curly brackets or the flower brackets I'll use because I have to use the common brackets here. So we cannot use two brackets together. In this are both the factors are same. So we can do with one also. We can go ahead with by doing both also. So 1 by 8 is already a constant that cannot be equal to 0. So 4x minus 1 only will be equal to 0. We can do ones only because both the numbers are same. In this we have 4x minus 1 is equal to 0, implies that 4x is 1. Therefore, x is equal to 1 by 4. So in this question, actually we have both the roots equal. We have like that type of equations also in which we get both the roots equal. So in this, it has two values, both are equal to 1 by 4 only. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Fifth question is 100x square minus 20x plus 1 is equal to 0. In this case, a is 100, b is minus 20 and c is 1. Same step, a into c, that will be 100 into 1, that is 100. Again, we don't have to leave the minus sign. Factorize 100. We have to arrange it to get minus 20. So first we can raise 2 to the 4, 5 5 the 25. 25 minus 4. No, we are not getting 20. Now I'll arrange 2 5s are 10, 2 5s are 10. So 10 plus 10 I can get as 20. It is minus 20x. I'll write minus 10 and minus 10. Because minus and minus equals plus. I can take 10x as common. So 10x minus 1. Again, from here I can take 1 common. So 10x minus 1 is equal to 0. Let's erase this to avoid confusion. So in this again we are getting the same roots because both the factors are same. So I'll just solve with only one. 10x minus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to 1 by 10. In this again, we have both the roots equal. Let's move to our next question, the second main. In this, we have solved the problems given in example 1. So in the NCERT only, in example 1 questions were given in which they are just asked to frame the equation. So now we have to solve that equation and we have to find the values. John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles. Both of them lost 5 marbles each. Means John and Jivanti together had 45. If John have 20, Jivanti will have 25. So together they have 45, and both of them lost 5 marbles each. Means 5 from John and 5 from Jivanti. And the product of the number of marbles they have now is 124. Means after subtracting 5 from each, when we multiply both the number of marbles, we will get 124. We would like to find out how many marbles we had to start with. So we have to find the earlier one. So in the solution, let John had X number of marbles. So if together they have 45, then in that case, Jivanti will have 45 minus X marbles. Because together they had 45. So when we will, when we know the first one, the second one will be 45 minus X. Means John plus Jivanti is 45. John is X. John, X plus Jivanti is 45. So J will be 45 minus X. It goes on like that. So now both of them lost 5 marbles each. So now John have X minus 5 marbles and Jivanti will have 45 minus X minus 5 marbles. In this case, don't do X minus 45 because we don't know that John has marbles more than 45 or less than 45. So if I think like that also, then also X minus 45 will never be possible. And they are saying that both of them together have 45. So John will never have marbles more than 45. So we cannot subtract 45 from X. So don't do that mistake. We do that often. So always it is 45 minus X. So this, if I solve this, this will be 40 minus X. According to the question, the product of the number of marbles they have now is 124. So they have now, John has X minus 5, Jivanti has 40 minus X. So according to the question, John X minus 5, Jivanti 40 minus X, and this product is equal to 124. Now I solve this. This will be X multiplied by 40 minus X minus 5, 40 minus X. First I'll have to frame a quadratic equation. 45 is 200 plus 5x is 124. I'll keep minus x squared like this, plus 40 plus 5, 45x, minus 200 minus 124 is equal to 0. If you want, you can solve it like this. If you want, we can reverse the signs because I don't like negative sign and a coefficient of x square. So I'll just reverse the signs. Again, A is 1, B is minus 45, C is 324. 324 into 1 is 324. I'll do the factorization of 324. Factorization of 324. So we have got these factors, and from this we should get 45. How can we get that? 2 to the 4, 3 is 12, 3 to the 9, 27. 27 minus 12. Yeah. No, we have to add. So 3 to the 6 to 12, then 27. No. 3 to the 6, 3 is 18. 3 to the 9 to the 18. No. 3 3 is 9. 9 2 is 18. 3 3 is 9. 3 is 9 to the 18. 18 2 is 36. Yeah. So 36 plus 9. I can take x common, x minus 36 minus 9, x minus 36 is equal to 0. I'll erase this part. So x minus 36 is common, x minus 9 is equal to 0. Again, same method, either x minus 36 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 36, x minus 9 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 9. In this case, we have both the answers as positive. Number of marbles will be positive. It's not given John has greater or Jivanti has greater number of marbles, so we can use any number of marbles. So if I take x is equal to 36, so John will have x, that is 36 marbles, and Jivanti will have 45 minus x, that is equal to 45 minus 36, that is 9 marbles. If I take x is equal to 9 as the answer, in that case, John will have 9 and Jivanti will have 45 minus 9, that is equal to 36 marbles. So we can take any number and then you will get the correct answer. In this, nothing is given. John has greater number of marbles or Jivanti has greater number of marbles. So we can take any value and both the values will be correct. See, if I'm getting 36, I'm getting 9 also as the answer. If I'm getting. Let's move to the second question. A cottage industry produces a certain number of toys in a day. The cost of production of each toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. On a particular day, the total cost of production was rupees 750. We would like to find out the number of toys produced on that day. So the thing that should be noticed in this question, first is we have to say number of toys. Then it is given the cost of production. So let the number of toys be x. Then cost of production of each toy will be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. 55 minus number of toys, that is x. So the cost of production of each day of a toy, or we can just write the cost of production of each toy. So cost of production of each toy is rupees 55 minus x. So total cost of production will be number of toys multiplied by cost of production of one toy. Means suppose if we buy one pen for 10 rupees, so the cost of 50 pens will be 50 into 10. So number of pens into cost of one pen. So same number of toys into cost of one toy. So according to the question, x multiplied by 55 minus x will be equal to 750 because total cost of production was rupees 750. We will generate the quadratic equation and we will solve it using factorization method. X square minus 55x plus 750 is equal to 0. So we have to factorize 750 because in this case a is 1. So we will factorize 750. 2 3s are 6, 2 7s are 14, 2 5s are 10. Then it will go by 3, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15. Then 5, 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 1. We have to arrange it to get 55. So how can we get it? Let's try with the middle only this time. 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15, 2s are 30. So are we, just check, are we getting it? 25 and 30. If we add, we will get 55. So this 55 is a negative. So we will write both the numbers in negative. Minus 25 minus 35 plus 750 is equal to 0. We will take x common out of this, x minus 25, and out of this I'll take 35 common. I will left with x minus 25. X minus 25 is common in both. X minus 25, x minus 35 is equal to 0. So either x minus 25 is 0 or x minus 35 is equal to 0. So x is 25 or x is 35. Now we can take x as 25 also, we can take x as 35 also, because they both are in the positive and number of toys can be positive. So if number of toys is 25, cost will be rupees 35 for each toy, and if number of toys we take as 35, then cost will be rupees 25. 55 minus 35. In this question it was not given that cost is lesser than the number of toys or number of toys is lesser than the number cost of each toy, so we can take any number. If it is mentioned in the question, then we have to check which one we can take. In this question we can take both the values. Next question, find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. So let the first number be x. So second number will be 27 minus x. Product is 182, product is multiplication. So according to the question, when we will multiply both the numbers, I'll be getting 182. Implies that 27x minus x square is equal to 182. Implies that x square minus 27x minus 100 plus 182 is equal to 0. I have to factorize 182. 2 nines are 18, 2 ones are 2. 7 into 13 is 91. So my factors are 2, 7 and 13. I can easily get this. 14 plus 13 is 27. So implies that x square minus 14x minus 13x plus 182 is equal to 0. X minus 14 minus 13, x minus 14 is equal to 0. You must have noticed one thing till now, that whatever factors we are taking, if a is 1, if a is 1 in the equation, so whatever factors we are getting, that is only the answer. See, in this also, we will get the answer as 14 and 13. So implies that x minus 14, x minus 13 is equal to 0. Implies that again x minus 14 is 0 or x minus 13 is 0. So either x is equal to 14 or x is equal to 13. Their sum is 27. So if x is for first number is 14, the other number will be 13, 27 minus 14. If x is 13, other number will be 14. So anyway, two numbers are 14 and 13. So whatever factors, these factors we are taking, that is only the answer. If and if a is 1. Now the next question. Find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose squares is 365. I've already explained in the exercise 4.1 that what are consecutive means 1 by 1. One number is x, other will be x plus 1. So let the first number be x. So second number will be x plus 1. Now it is written sum of whose squares. Sum of squares means we have to do the square of these x square and x plus 1 square. And when we add, sum means add is equal to 365. So we need to solve this x square plus this is a plus b whole square. So a square plus 2ab, that is 2x, plus b square, that is 1. This is equal to 365. In this 2x square plus 2x minus 364 is equal to 0. I can take 2 as common. 2 by 2, 2 is 2 to the 4 is equal to 0. I'll take 2 that side, that will become 0. So x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0. Again, I got a as 1. So I'll factorize 182 only. I'll get the same factors. 2 9s are 18, 2 1s are 2, 7 and 13. And I have to get in this 1. So I will again take 7 to the 14 and 3. and this time I will subtract 14 minus 3. So x square plus 14x minus 13x minus 182 is equal to 0. You must have understood till now that what will be the answer? Our answer will be 14 and 13 because those are our factors. So either x plus 14 will be 0 or x minus 13 will be 0. This will be x is equal to minus 14 and in this case x is equal to 13. Now we cannot take this time x is equal to minus 14 because it is written here positive integer. So minus 14 is a negative integer. We cannot take that. So we will take x is equal to 13. So x is equal to 13 and x plus 1 will be equal to 13 plus 1, that is 14 is the answer. So two consecutive numbers are 13 and 14. Now the next question. The altitude of a right triangle is 7 centimeter less than its base. If the hypotenuse is 13 centimeter, find the other two sides. You must be knowing the Pythagoras theorem. Very easy one. We have done in this. We are doing it in the 7th standard. Altitude means the height of a right angle triangle. So let base be x centimeter. So altitude will be 7 centimeter less than the base, x minus 7. And hypotenuse is given 13, already it is given. So we will just apply the Pythagoras theorem according to our just, if you want, you can write here hypotenuse is 13 centimeter. So according to the question, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. 13 square is 169. X square, this is a minus b whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. 169 minus 49 is equal to 2x square minus 14x. So 2x square minus 14x minus 6 minus 4 to 120 is 0. Again, I can take common. 2 will be common. X square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. I'll take 2 that side. The equation will become x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. So again, we will factorize it and we'll get the answer. Again, a is 1. We'll factorize 60. When we factorize 60, we'll be getting 230 to 15 times 3 5s are 5 1s are. So we have to get 7. So 2 2s are 4. 4 3s are 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. In this case, our sum should be equal to minus 7. So we will take minus 12 plus 7. Because when we are adding, the sign of the greater number is the sign of the answer. X square minus 12x plus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. So I can take x common, x minus 12. So this will be 5x. Minus 12x plus 5x is equal to 7x. So here I'll take 5 as the 5 common and I'll get x minus 12 is 0. See, in this question, again, I was not getting the same number in the bracket. So I checked. So by mistake, instead of 5x, I wrote 7x. That is the silly mistake that we all do. So that is like very, very common silly mistake. So if you're not getting the same answer in the bracket, just check your factors and you will get it correct. So x minus 12 is common, x minus 12, x plus 5 is equal to 0. Again, if x minus 12 is 0, x is equal to 12. If x plus 5 is 0, x is equal to minus 5. We cannot take x is equal to minus 5 because side of a triangle cannot be negative. So we will take x is equal to 12. Base is 12 centimeter. Altitude will be 12 minus 7, that is 5 centimeter is the answer. So our base is 12 centimeter and the altitude. Let's move to the 6th question. It is similar as the second question of second main. A cottage industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. If the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90, find the number of articles produced and the cost of each article. So it's just the same question. Again, first we'll take let the number of articles be X. So cost of each article will be, it is given 3 more than twice the number of article. 3 more than is plus twice the number of articles. Twice means multiplied by 2. So 3 plus 2x. This is the cost of one article. After that it is given the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90. So according to the question, the total cost of production, how can you find that? Number of articles multiplied by cost of one article. That will be the total cost. So number of articles multiplied by total cost of one article will be, this is equal to total cost of production. And this is given as 90. So we can equate the equation, we can equate it, x multiplied by 3 plus 2x is equal to 90. We will solve this. We will frame a quadratic equation and we will solve by using factorization method. In this we have a also. So we will multiply a and c. We will get 180 and we will factorize 180 to get the factors, and then we will split it to get 3. So we have to get 3. How can we get 3? Let's check. 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12, 5 3s are 15. So 15 minus 12 we can get as 3. So implies that 2x square plus 12x minus 15. No, if I take plus 12x minus 15x, I'll get the answer as minus 3x. So I'll take minus 12x plus 15x minus 90 is equal to 0. Because when we add or subtract the algebraic expressions, the sign that we take here, that is of the greater number. So we have to take plus with 15x only. Now we will take common 2x from the first one. And then from the second one, I can take 15 as common. This will be equal to 0. X minus 6 is common and left with 2x plus 15. Don't forget to give this implies that sign. Again, either x is equal to 0, x minus 6 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 15 is equal to 0. So in this case, 2x will be equal to minus 15, x will be equal to minus 15 by 2. In this case, x is equal to 6. We cannot take this value because this is negative and this is in fraction. Our x is number of articles. So number of articles can't be negative and neither it can be in the fraction. So we will take this value. X is equal to 6. So number of articles produced in one day will be 6 and cost of one article will be 3 plus 2x, that is 3 plus 2 into 6, that is 3 plus 12, that is equal to rupees 15. Even you can check your answer. If we multiply 15 and 6, we are getting 90. So we are getting total cost of production as rupees 90. So with this question, we are done with exercise 4.2. In the next video, we will do exercise 4.3 of this chapter.